We have our abs and back body powerhouse class today. Playlist was shared in the WhatsApp group this morning. EPH 8-week powerhouse starts with I Feel It Coming by the Weekend. If you are playing along, let's go ahead and press play in 3, 2, 1. We're going to start in child pose. I love back body stuff and ab stuff because we get to start on the mat. So bring your feet together, your knees go wide, reach your arms long in front of you, and bring your forehead down to the mat. And just start getting into your breath here, breathing into all parts of your lungs. Expanding the rib cage on those inhales. And releasing any tension in the body on your exhales. Really start to feel connected to your breath. On your next inhale, lift up to a modified quadruped position. Exhale, push back to child's pose. Starting to add some movement here, just hinging forward and pushing it back. Maybe slightly lifting through with that chest, looking in front of you, extending your spine long, and then rounding through the spine as you go back into child's pose. 2 more here, just waking up the spine. Good. Curl your toes under. Inhale, hinge forward into that modified quadruped position. Exhale, lift your hips to the sky and come into a downward facing dog. Adjust your hands and feet as necessary. And just breathe in this position, this nice extended spinal position. Head is between the arms. You're pushing into all 10 fingers. Lift up one heel and then the other. Starting to pedal out the feet. Wrap your elbows underneath the armpits. Good. Here for 4 is a beautiful spinal extension position. 3, 2, 1. Lift up on both heels now. Exhale, draw both heels down towards the mat. Push into those fingers a little bit more. Inhale as you shift forward into a plank position. And hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees down to the ground. Uncurl your toes. Walk your hands back a little so that they're underneath your shoulders. Lift up your right hand on your inhale. Exhale, wind it underneath your left shoulder and bring your right ear down to the mat. Let's just stretch this out a little more. We start off with that plank, that quick plank static hold, because not just to warm up the body, keep breathing, but also so that you guys can see how far you've come. Is anyone feeling tired after that? Inhale, come on up, or are you feeling strong and awake? Other hand lift, exhale, twist it underneath the opposite arm, bringing your left ear down to the mat. Good. Inhale, come on up, plant both hands, give me a couple of cat cows. Inhaling in one direction as you arch through that tail and lift, pull through that chest, and then round through the tail and through that upper spine. Always trying to find your neutral spine before you round or extend. Starting to feel those transverse abs and back body muscles wrap themselves around the spine as you go through this motion. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's find a neutral spine. Go ahead, sit back on your heels, and then swing your legs around. Good morning. Grab one of those books, put them between the knees, squeeze into them, or yoga block, right? Knees are bent, feet are flat on the ground, arms are long in front of us. We're going to roll down in this position because we're going to do a little teaser today. So nice tall spine. Hey, Russ. You're going to inhale here. Just warm up the spine a little for me before you join us, okay? Inhale here. Exhale. Roll it all the way down, squeezing into that book so that you can feel that pelvic floor activate. Inhale, arms overhead, 45 degrees. Exhale, start to roll it up. And stack it up nice and tall. So inhale, exhale, roll it down. Hands overhead. Inhale, exhale. Roll it up. Now notice, keep going. Notice how squeezing into that book gives you more control as you lift and lower through the torso. Because we're activating those deep transverse abs. 2 more. I'm going to come check you out. Gorgeous, Alexa. Here we go. Good, Rush. Nice control. Yes, Sid. Last one. Bob, that looks awesome. Oh, my God. You guys look so good. Yes, Oriana. Good. And then we'll all meet in that tall spinal position. Good. Drop that book. You're going to lift up one leg, other leg is planted down. Let's inhale, just extend it long. Exhale, bend into tabletop. You're grabbing underneath the shin, underneath the calf, or underneath the thigh, whatever you prefer, whatever feels most comfortable. I prefer the calf muscle. You want to think about nice tall spine. 2 more this side. Good, just mobilizing through this leg. Good. This time, inhale, extend that leg long. Let go of your leg. Exhale, roll all the way down. Other leg stays on the ground. Leg stays, the extended leg is in space, at the same space. Arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, start to lift it up. And then grab underneath that shin. Yeah, single leg teaser. Roll it down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale. Roll it up. Good. The goal is to try to keep those knees in line with one another. Last one this side. And you're rolling down and up with control. Put that leg down. Let's grab the other one. So start in tabletop. You inhale, extend those toes towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend. This is going to feel different for everyone. This might get into hip flexors. Try to use your breath to engage more the abdominals as opposed to hip flexors. 2 more. Last one. Good. Extend that leg long. See if you can let go of it and hold it there in space. Inhale, exhale, roll down with control. Try to keep that leg in the same spot. Arms overhead. Inhale, exhale, roll it up. Ooh, that one's harder for me. Keep going. Down. Exhale, left. I'm going to check you out. You got 2 more this side. Good. Beautiful. We're going to see if you can keep that leg lifted a little higher when you roll down. Last one. You got it, Russ? Yes. Keep going. Lower with control. Nice, Alexa. Nice, Sid. And then when you're up in that tall spinal position, stay there. Wall me here. Good. So how do we feel? Are you feeling like you're getting into those deep abs, like the real control down and up? You look great. Maybe. This time you're going to find your sits bones, okay? You're going to find that point where you can balance on your bum. Lift your toes slightly off of the ground. So now you find your balanced position. Grab underneath your shins and bring them up into tabletop. Okay, stay here, or if you want, you can try to extend them long, but you figure out what's working for you right now, okay? I'm going to stay here for demo purposes. Release one hand in front. Release the other hand in front. Hold here. Figure out this position. Pay attention to what it feels like. Inhale, exhale. This is at the end point where we want to end up. So we're going to inhale as we lower down with control. Arms come up overhead, legs stay bent. Exhale as you lift yourself up into teaser. Good. Inhale, lower. Option to put the book in between your knees. Exhale. Lift with control. Book in between the knees is going to help to get into your pelvic floor. Keep going. Keep going. Good. Here we go. Nice. Here we go. 2 more. You got this, Alexa. You got it. Squeeze into that book. Beautiful, Oriana. Try to control that lower so you don't hear that plop on the back, okay? I know you got it. Nice, Bob. All right, everyone. Now that we're back up into our teaser, hold here. Grab underneath your shins. Extend those legs long. Try to find your balance. Draw that belly button in behind the spine. Here we go. Here we go. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw those legs down. That looks amazing. Awesome. Okay. We're going to do series 5. I was going to say, do we want to do our plank series now or later? But we're going to save it for later. We're going to do series 5 now. Grab a quick sip of water if you need. I'm going to put my fan on a little bit because it's actually getting kind of warm. Good. Have a book handy. Just going to need one for now. Or yoga block. Roll all the way down. If anyone, some of you guys did the high and low intensity interval training yesterday, we did the hundreds, you know? So we're going to play off of that. We're going to do our series 5. So grab the book in both hands, okay? Bring that book overhead. Inhale, lift one leg into tabletop. Exhale, lift the other leg into tabletop to meet it. Squeeze into those legs. Inhale here. Exhale, lift up through the chest and try to bring that book to your knees. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Now, as you do this, obviously you're reaching through the arms, but you're really trying to lift up using the abs. So if you were only arms, you'd be pulling against the neck from the shoulder girdle. So we really want to think about less pull in the arms and more lift through the abs. Good. Here we go. 2 more. Last one. Good. Stay lifted into chest lift. Draw your right knee in, your left leg goes long. The book goes essentially over that shin. Inhale, exhale, switch. So that book is going to stay in one place, okay? And your knees are going to shift underneath it. It's going to help us to make sure that our legs are crossing one another at the same height in space. Point through those toes. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips. Your feet are in line with your knees. I'm going to come check you out. Almost there. Good. Here we go. For 4, 3, keep breathing. 2, 1, draw both knees into your chest. Extend your legs long. And come out of chest lift if you were still in there. Wiggle your jaw, give your neck a break. Inhale, exhale, bring those legs back into tabletop. Book comes up overhead. This time, we're going to inhale, exhale, bring your right leg into your chest, left leg long, but that book goes to the outside of the right leg. Inhale through center, exhale, other side. So this is kind of a play on crisscross, right, where we usually have our elbows behind our head, but often that leads to pulling of the neck. So this helps us to reduce the stress on the neck, woo, while we are getting into those obliques, aren't we? Here we go. Option to always come out of chest lift. You're trying not to wiggle and wobble too much in those hips. Let me see what you got. Good. For 4, 3, nice, 2, and 1. Good. Drop that book for a second. Come out of chest lift. Extend your legs long. We're not done. That was only 3 of 5. Send your right toes to the ceiling, arms to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, lift and hold on to either behind your thigh or behind your calf muscle. Okay? You're going to find your position where you can hold here. Lift your other leg off to a hover off the ground. Inhale, exhale, switch with 2 tall legs, long legs, trying to keep your chest lifted and stable so that we get into those low abs and those lower obliques. Keep going. Almost there, guys. Good. Rush, slow it down. For 4, 3, kind of look more towards the legs so you're not straining the neck back. 2, yeah, better, much better. Last one. Bring both knees into your chest, hug them tight. Good. Exhale as you extend your legs and arms long. Inhale, circle those arms around, hug those knees into your chest. We're almost there. This is the last one. Exhale, extend. And hug. This is double leg stretch. Here we go. 4 more. Good. And 3. Think about scooping those abs. Last one. And then release everything down to the mat. Send your legs long. Arms go long overhead. Quick breather.
Let's do some bridging. Have your books handy. You're going to put one book underneath your left foot. The right foot's going to be on the mat. The other book is going to be between the knees. So we're really trying to get into that pelvic floor today. Yes, they're going to be uneven. Notice how one leg is taller than the other. What do you need to do in your hips? Arms are down by your sides. Inhale, curl your pelvis towards your nose. Exhale as you lift up into your bridge position. Now, what shifts do you need? Obviously, if we're here, one hip's going to want to be lower than the other. So let's work that hip a little bit more. Squeeze into that glute a little bit more so that when you look up, both hip points are equal in space. They're at the same height. Inhale, tap that bum down. Exhale, push it up into space. Inhale, tap. Exhale, push. Here we go. Option to take that book out from between the legs if it's like messing up your form, but it should be helpful in getting into that pelvic floor. You want to lower with control and lift with control, but obviously that one side is going to be working just a little harder to lift all the way up. For 4, 3, 2, yes, back body, 1, good, lower all the way down. Left leg stays on that book. Right toes can either point to the ceiling or you can cross the right ankle across the left thigh. Single leg bridging here. So we still want the hips to be in the same spot. You're going to inhale, curl that tail. Exhale, lift up into a single leg bridge. Now again, if your leg is pointed to the sky, it's going to be a little harder because you have to hold it there in space, right? So you figure out what works for you. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, push up. Inhale, tap. Exhale, push. Keep going. I'm going to check you out. You got 4 more. Good. Squeeze those glutes. Beautiful, Oriana. That looks great. 2. Last one. Let's get those hips a little higher. Better. Lower all the way down with control. Move that book so it's underneath the right foot. Left foot is down. Second set. Figure out your form. You want to make sure your bum is close enough to your feet. Not so close that when you come up, your knee is over your toes, but close enough that you're feeling it in the glutes and not just the hamstrings. So, inhale, curl that tail. Exhale, roll up to your bridge. And figure out what you need to do with that left glute now to make sure that left hip is the same height as the right hip, which is lifted a little bit higher, right? Inhale, lower. Exhale, push up. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift. Try to keep your knees in line with your hips, your feet in line with your knees. Press into those arms. Your rib cage is knitted in the front. Your abs are on. You're squeezing through those glutes. You're activating through those hamstrings for 4, 3, 2. You guys look great. Last one. Come on. 1. Lower all the way down with control. Send those left toes either to the sky or cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Whatever you did on the one side, do again on this side. Okay? Single leg lifts. So, you're going to inhale, curl that tail. Exhale, lift up to your bridge. Notice what you have to do to keep both hips same height. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, push it up. Good, I'm going to check you out. You've got 4 more. Beautiful. You got this. Come on. And 3, 2. Nice, Oriana. Last one. Lower down with control. Send those legs to the sky. Point and flex through those toes. Punch out those hamstrings if they were getting a little crimpy. Roll yourself up to seated. We're going to finish with a 30-second plank hold, and then we're going to pull down. So, forearm plank. Come down onto your forearms. Extend your legs long. Extend your right leg long. Inhale. Extend your left leg long. Exhale. Let's hold. Look in front of the mat, not necessarily just down, directly down. Keep that head in line with that spine. Draw your belly up and underneath those ribs. Squeeze through those glutes. Press through those hands. Almost there. Keep breathing. Keep holding, almost there. I'm gonna check you out. Got 15 seconds. I know it's a little longer than 30 seconds. We got this. 10, 9, slow 10 seconds. 8, you got this. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Yes! When you're ready, let's push ourselves back into that child's pose where we started. And just breathe into that back body. On your next inhale, walk your fingers over to the left side of the mat, stretch out the right side of that back body. And then on your next inhale, walk those fingers over to the right. Walk those hands in the middle, one more breath here. Inhale as you walk your hands back towards the body, lifting yourself up into a kneeling position. Swing your legs around, extend them long in front of you. Arms come forward. Inhale, exhale as you roll yourself all the way down. Bring your hands overhead, legs are long, and just take a full body stretch here. Bring your arms out to a W or a T. Inhale your right leg into tabletop. Exhale as you draw it across the left side body and look out over the right shoulder. Inhale that leg back through center and extend it long. Exhale as you draw the left leg into tabletop and then cross it across the right side body. Look out over your left shoulder. Inhale that leg back through center. Hold on to that knee, draw it into your chest. Get a little stretch in the right hip flexor because your right leg is extended long on the mat. Good, extend that leg long, draw your right knee into your chest. Let's stretch out the front of the left hip flexor. The front of the left hip flexor, that doesn't really make sense because hip flexors are in the front. But you know what I mean. Extend both legs long one more time, arms long overhead. Inhale as you start to lift those arms up. Exhale as you bring yourself all the way up and then hinge forward to a forward fold and stretch out the back body here. Inhale yourself to a nice tall spine. Take a neck roll in one direction, a neck roll in the other direction, and we're all set. Thank you guys. Did awesome.